So last time we finished up chapter 15. So this is going to be the review day. We'll plan on the test for Wednesday this week.
That one fits my schedule perfectly.
Actually, mine too.
Of course it fits, Dave.
Yeah.
No, it does.
How's it fit in that planner?
Yeah,
Perfect.
in a study hall or a testing room or something another time, that would be fine.
I'm reading it.
No problem, Henry.
How's the old rest?
It's been better, but I'll survive.
May I steal your scissors
So
for
you're
a
making
second?
hash
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah,
What's
your mom, I do.
Can I get half of that?
No, you can-
So I just want to talk a bit about the test format here. So you'll have one question where I give you like a logistic population model and ask you to like estimate the population at a given time. So like the initial or the maximum sustainable or at like the year 2015 or, yeah, I should be able to do something like that.
Formulas though, right? Like,
So if you look at the review packet,
alright.
to answer that question, at the back page, the same list of formulas on that
Oh, that's
is included with your exam, so you don't need to worry about those for your half sheet.
So don't y'all doing that?
all the
Can you go back to that?
formulas.
This is the last page of the review.
So you just.
Those would be included on the test. You'll have one question where you'll be asked to solve an exponential equation. One question where you need to solve a logarithmic equation. One question where we have to use Newton's law of cooling to answer a story problem. One question where I ask you to expand the logarithm. One question where I give you a compound interest story problem you need to solve for a time. One question where I ask you to compare two compound interest investments using APY. One question where I ask you to use the annuity formula to predict the value of an investment at some future time. And then one question where I ask you to use that annuity account formula, but this time use the other version because you're going to be calculating the payments on a loan rather than an investment. So remember, there's like,
I like the loan ones.
yeah, there's like two versions of that, right? There's the loan one, I'm sorry, the loan, and then the investment.
Stop. Stop.
So just as a recap, for Sunday, you guys will have 151 to 84 still. And then the review. The test, again, is planned for Wednesday this week. And we got some time here today to work on some stuff, but before we do that, do you guys have any questions from homeworks that we want to talk about?
Oh, I do have one. Let me just finish this thought.
Sure. I'm not in a rush.
Could we get a nice little 165?
165?
Indeed.
Sure. So it says Nathan invests $2,300 in a savings account with a 9% interest rate compounded quarterly. How long will it take until Nathan's balance, our account has a balance of $4,150? So just so you know, this is like the exact kind of problem that I'd be talking about here, where I talk about a compound interest and we're solving for a time, right? So our compound interest formula that's supposed to be KN. Those were the letters we used. So filling things in, 4,150 equals 2,300. 1 plus 9 over 100 times 4 to the 4n. So one way I could solve this would be to type both sides of the equation into my graphing calculator and find the intersection, right? Could do that, not wrong to do that. If I wanted to do this algebraically, though, let's do it that way. So I would divide both sides by 2,300. I have that. Everybody's okay? Now, I could combine these like terms here, but rather than typing that into my calculator, I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'm just going to think about that whole thing as the base of my exponential. So, bless you. To cancel that out, I'm going to use the log of the same base. And again, if you wanted to turn that into a decimal, that would be okay, but I would try to use all the decimals. So that logarithm base cancels with the exponent base, and we're just left with 4n over there. So if I divide both sides by 4 or multiply by 1/4, either way of thinking about that is okay. That should be my final answer then. So I'll go fire up my old calculadora. To get this log base, I'm going to press math and then scroll down to get the bottom where the log base is at. If you have an old calculator like Boyd's, you'd have to use the change of base formula there. But I think we've talked about how to do that, Boyd, right? You're okay? Okay. So I got about 32.5 years. And just looking at my answer key, that ought to be right. No, it says 6.6 years. What went wrong with this?
I
Yeah.
just divided by 4 after. Once I got the
Yeah, that shouldn't have been the issue. Well, let's try doing it this way real quick and see if that agrees with whichever one, right? Because it's possible it's just like a typo on the answer key, right?
I'm still getting the 6.
Let's do 50. Let's see, so there's that. No, that looks like it's gonna be around 6 then. Okay, so we did something wrong there. Okay. Sure did. Where did we move? Where did we goofle that up at? Okay. So we divided the 2300 over, that's good. Did log of that to both sides. I wonder if it's, I wonder what would have happened if we used the change of base formula. Maybe it doesn't like it, or we've typed that in the an expression in the base of the logarithm like that. Because I don't see any issues with what we've done algebraically. Yeah. So there's the problemo.
They didn't like it.
It, whatever reason, it took whatever was down there, and it did not like the fact that we put an algebraic expression down there.
It worked for them.
So if you had, if we had instead done, taken that number and then used,
Oh, you just put that number down.
yeah, 1/4 times, and then did log base of that number. Oops. Yeah,
All right.
so that would have worked also.
Wasn't liking them.
So that's a good helpful tip to know, to find that out before we get to the test, right? That it's, for whatever reason, the calculator doesn't know what to do with that. Dwan? 150 what? 53? Oh, you didn't know what to do with the 4,000, did you?
Well, that's why I keep.
Bloom, what do we do with it?
It's just a distraction.
You do nothing with it, it's just a distraction.
I just do the same thing. It's mind game.
It got you, it distracted you, didn't it? That's all the 4,000 is doing. You don't need it, you can ignore it. Dawn, you happy with just that explanation? Okay. I figured it would be.
It's like, I don't know if it was asking for future value or like.
Yeah, no, so the directions just ask for find the annual percent yield, APY, for the investment. Anybody else with homework questions?
I'm chilling now.
Okie doke. I will get out of your way then, let you guys get to it.